So we have a new industry collection now. We don't really need a relationship field for posts to show up in industry pages. I suppose we could do this as a join field where we then have whatever filter options we want, but I don't really see the benefit in that other than it's one less query. But even then, this is not, I mean, let's try it out. So we did do this, the render industry posts on industry pages based on category. So let's check out the join field first. So we'll come over to our industries config, and instead of using this field down here at the bottom, which I thought was at the bottom, but really it's a block, so not really the case, we can go to our hero content here. So instead of using a feed block, we can come here and do something like a join field. Just do type, if I can get it inside the field, type, I'm doing something wrong here. All right, so within the fields, we need type join, we can do name, we can say posts, I guess related posts makes sense. We can do this on, or sorry, I'll do not required. Dang man, collection. It's one of these. Categories, we can do where, we'll come back to that in a second, and then we'll just do on, collections, or collection posts on category. I don't think this is gonna work. Go ahead and do admin login. We can go to our industries, go to real estate, content. Didn't think so. Oh, I have to remember how to do a join field. I don't know why I forgot so fast. I forgot. But I should have a join field, I believe, on users already. Join. Yep. On content authors, so join collection posts. Yes, okay. So we're going to join not on category, but on meta.category. It's not, yeah, so that should be right. Hit save there. Okay, so let's go over to our posts and we can come down. I think it's content category. What did I do? Meta content category. Let's try that one instead. There we go. Go to content. Okay, and so now we have no posts are found to match the specified filters. And so what are we trying to do here? So we want to have related posts based on our content category. I wonder then if we could do, no, this isn't gonna work like I wanted to. So let's not worry about the join field because the problem is I'm gonna have to filter by the specific category on the actual join field itself. And so that just seems like a couple of extra steps that I don't feel like worrying about. So we're not going to do the join field. Don't think it's necessary. So what we can do though is break some stuff. So we're going to use a relationship field for our links. Well, actually, before we break stuff, let's fix types for navigation because we're going to have to generate types after that. So, or generate types to do that. So I guess we have to do both of these at the same time. Let's just jump in. We will go to our nav. So I have here a couple of things. Well, nav is not, okay, so these are separate things that I've been thinking about here. So for buttons and things like that is where I want to have the option to have an internal or an external link. So first, let's do that. Because I am completely and 100% focused, tuned in, like straight honed in on what we need to be working on. I'm very clearly not. So let's go to our buttons. Make sure there's nothing in UI that's going to have this. I don't think it will. There's this other button, but I think that's just a UI component. Okay, so we will have open a new tab, set default value to false as primary. So here is where we're going to figure out what we want to do. So first things first, we're going to create a new field that we'll call name and do, I guess, link type, which is not going to work. But first, let's do type. This is going to be, I guess, radio. Let's do a select. I think it'll look better. Options, we'll do value. We'll say internal, and then we can do label as internal, and then we can do this one as external. All right, so link type makes sense, I guess. So now what we can do is we can keep link. So we'll do admin, we can do a condition, and then here I haven't done a condition in a really long time, so here we go. We'll just steal this whole thing. I mean, that should be right? Where'd I even get that from? So buttons, nav, admin condition, true, false, data. So sibling, if link type, sibling data, yep, that's right, is external, return true, if not false. All right, and so then we can do the same thing here. But instead of link, we can do, what field name should we do here? We're doing, it's an internal link. I wish I could just call it link as well, but I can't. And type is not programmatically settable. So let's just set this to be internal link. I don't want to change the actual link up there because that is currently in use. But this is going to be a relationship field. It's going to be relation to, I believe I want to do an array where I can do industries, our pages, and our posts. I don't need data here. So now we can set a default value here to be internal. We'll do external to be default. And then I can hit save, come over here, find our button over here on the hero section. Some things are going to change, some things are going to break. Link type is going to be internal, so nothing happens there. Let's take a look at that. So this actually probably needs to be the value, not the external. This needs to be internal. And then I need this to not be clearable, so that's going to be an admin. Is clearable is going to be false, and it already is not has many, so I think we're good there. So we set internal, external, link type is external, internal, and no link. So I guess maybe link type dot value. I added an extra layer of complexity, I suppose. Don't know what I just broke. Okay, so value is not what it needs to be, and maybe I don't use a select field here. So let's go ahead and just do external and do internal. Change this to be a radio. Get rid of this. External. Okay, so progress, I suppose. So let's just set external, internal. External. So now it should do, yep, link type there. So don't know what's happening here. So now return. So maybe sibling data is not right. Let's just set it to be data. Yeah, okay. Back to the handy old docs. Condition. Yeah, so this should just be working. I mean, probably not anymore, but let's set this all back to the more explicit version of this and just do all data across the board here. Data, reload. Yes, I am very Confucian now. Admin, this is saying that if data enable greeting, checkbox. So data, link type, which is what that's saying right there. Maybe I don't need data. I should. This is not supposed to be this difficult, but for some reason it is. I just lost what I was doing. Condition. All right, so we have data, which should be what I need. I wonder if I'm editing the wrong thing. It could be that I am editing the wrong thing. So let's take a, well, no, because this is being added, so that's fine. So it's either data or sibling data. It's definitely not the user. Let's just see what happens. Let's get the field showing up. All right, I'm spending way too much time on this. This should not be taking this long. But if we go over to our nav, what I'm trying to recreate, if I go to nav, and load this up, I have this where I can set if, I don't want to do it there, but I can have an external link here, or an internal link, and it just works, which should be what's happening here, but it's not. Okay, so now when I click internal link, nothing happens. What happens if I save it? Let's just see what happens. Nothing good. Okay, so leave it like that. We have a condition. Let's set it back to sibling data, and this is internal as its name. Set true as default. Oh, I wonder if it's not default because I've saved data. Okay, the condition is just not working like I want it to, and I'm not exactly sure why, because it works in other places. Because we have it here working with our external link, which is taking if sibling data link type, which is up here, type radio has external, internal, and no link, then it should just work. But it is not just work. So let's look back over at our, what is this? Probably If I go to my industries config, we have this in our hero section where we have buttons and we have an image. So we've got a text position left and right. We've got our buttons. If I go to buttons, that is what we were just editing. But I wonder, just to see what happens, if we take this admin, I wonder if it's just because it's not a top level thing. I don't think that should matter, but we will see. Let's set subtext admin to only appear if sibling data text position equals right. And that just works immediately. So I wonder if there is something to it being a down in here in like a utility function essentially. So we may have to take the buttons out of that, which is not the end of the world because we can just come in here and take all of this, which would just be such a shame to take all of this out. Get our labels. What is this? It is type array, but it is like just real frustrating that that just worked immediately. So let's set it back to where like the level that I want it to be, and then let's move forward. So sibling data should be what it is. Internal should be link type. Shouldn't need a label. Type should be radio. Then we should have this be set to external. And then we're going to set options to external or internal, not no link because it's a button, it should have a link. So we have external, internal, which does nothing. Oh, if link type. We can set this to be, this should be external. Then internal should be link type internal. Get rid of that. Hit save, and it goes away because it is not listening to me for some reason. So where else do we take links? I think it's really just the button. So if that's the case, we will spend a little bit more time on this to see if taking the button out of this file will work. But again, I'd much rather not, just because it looks kind of bulky, but I think I'm okay. So I wonder, why is that there? Does it need to be there? No. All right, so let's see where else we have links here. Nav, yes. Posts only in the buttons. Users does not. Redirects will not. The footer does, but it's the same as the header information, so that should be fine. Addresses doesn't, pages don't, industries don't, these hooks don't, and neither does categories. So it's really buttons here, and I think that's it. All right, so let's just test this out. We'll take our buttons and we'll copy all of this. And where am I? I'm in industries. So we can go to our industries config, and instead of these buttons, let's just drop these buttons in here. Hit save. Very interesting. Reload. So sibling, let's just change it all to data and see what happens. Okay, so it's not a top level thing. That's a relief. Just means we have something else to figure out. So make sure our buttons are good here. And then the last thing I'll do before calling it quits is just to see how these might have their collections done. Oh, collections, anything with a condition in it. So I may need to go to our examples. So it's not even examples. I need to go to our payload. Need to go to not examples. I was just there. Examples, templates is what I'm looking for. And then let's look at the website, because the website example is going to give me an idea of a better way to do conditions, I think. So let's take a look at our collections. We can look at our posts maybe. Here we go. No, it's before change. Okay, so I don't see any conditions here. Let's go back up to pages, index. Don't see any condition here either. Okay. I guess users, nothing there. Not in categories. Media, nothing in media either. So now we can go to components, which I think, oh, it's not going to be components. Let's go back to the collections because I saw something in our users. We've got our, not in users. I'm just clicking around stuff now at this point. Categories, slug field. So our slug field is in our fields. Slug. So there's nothing there. Index maybe? Okay, that's not a config field. So I wonder then why they don't have any conditions anywhere in any of their configs. That's interesting to me. Collections, very, very interesting. Yeah, so there's, I mean, You saw it. I got one working no problem using exactly this, but for some reason it's not working for my buttons link. And I wonder, it's not because there's nothing in there, because there is. So if I set this back to internal, hit save, nothing changes. Set it to external, save. Again, nothing changes. So now they're both up, but I can figure out later then why it's not working like I want it to. So this, I need, why won't admin dot condition work for external internal selector? And so we'll figure that out. I think on the next one, we'll fix types for the navigation as well. So on the next video is going to be more about, I think, fixing our navigation stuff, because I don't think anybody saw it earlier, but looking at our, this error here, this nav item is atrocious. So I'll want to take a look into refactoring this and making it a little bit more understandable is probably the best way to put it. So we'll come back to that, but really I'm going to be bothered by this condition not working for this. I don't really know what to do about it though, because I can get them both to show up. I can get them both to disappear. I can't get them to change places. And so we have our sibling data. We've tried our data. We've tried different names. It's weird that it just did that. Dot link type internal. It's wild, isn't it? Things just don't work like they're supposed to. All right, let's try one more time. Just some sibling data, just in case. Sibling, oh wait. I can just change this to sibling data. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. I don't know what's different. Is it because it needed to have all of the different arguments? Maybe, but I guess adding in all the arguments makes sure that I can access the different fields. So here, spent all that time, all that troubleshooting. Don't you just love web development? All right, well, let's change this from external to internal, set it to be contact, hit save. And so the last thing we'll do is go to our, oh, I can't wait to fix that nav. Since this is what I wanted to do, we can go to our hero. We can go to our buttons in either our primary or secondary button. So the link, we're gonna have to fix this all too, I think. So we also need internal link, which, boy, let's just set this to be, well, it can be a page, it can also be a post, and it can be an industry. And so now we can do link type. Link type is also a string. So now we can do href is link, or a few things need to happen here. It's always never just this simple. So we'll just do const reference just for now. We can set it to be internal link question mark. If it is, we can do internal link dot, I believe it's going to be, I guess slug it is. Okay. Oh, if it is, we will want to check, well, first, no. So we need to check link type equals external. We can just do link. That's going to be the easy way. If it's not, we need to check internal link. And let's take a look at our API here real quick. So in our hero, we've got our buttons. We've got link type is going to be, so let's capitalize that. External. If it is external, it'll be link. Otherwise, we need the internal link, which is going to be interesting. So we need value. So I guess internal link dot value dot slug. So here, I think is where our issue is. Let's see if it works, but let's do reference. Then we'll see if this works. If it does, we will call it quits. So it does, but I need to change this to be, oh wait, so no, that should be fine. This needs to be, there we go. Okay, so that works. This should bring up our contact page. Then we can look here real quick at our real estate. Our open a new tab should be false. So let's really just get rid of all this. So now if I refresh, make sure all this compiles correctly. Contact should not open a new page. Perfect. Okay, so that's one. So we'll come back in we'll fix, it seems we need to fix types in our buttons and in our nav. So let's write this down real quick. So I did this. Don't know why it works. It works now. So fix types for navigation and buttons. So we can use relationship fields for links in buttons. And that should be good there. Then we can also work on our schema, and then also fixing buttons that open a new tab. We'll want to fix that as well. So we're getting near the end of this, I think. So we can start building out an actual website, which would be nice. There's going to be some design things that I need to fix. So let's go ahead and write that down to do design fix in footer and nav. Particularly down here, like I can't see industries anymore. And then up here, if I open industries, there's a gap here. And then also, don't know why this doesn't work anymore, but the padding disappeared here as well. So a few small things like that. We've got a portfolio to build, and then I think that's about all we have left to do. So we'll get to work on it. We did work on the live preview a little bit in this video as well, which I was not anticipating on doing, but there we go. We did it. So we're going to be working on some SEO stuff, including like the schema, making sure that all of that works. But yeah, I guess I need to start thinking about what my next project is going to be to start working on with y'all. So got some ideas coming up, but for now, I think this is a great place to stop.